Hello and welcome to another episode of my ArundelBiz podcast. I'm Grayson Orfe, and as we've had in the past, we've had ever since Allison Akers has gone on to new ventures. Well, we've had kind of a revolving seat of co-host, and right now I want to introduce to you a new face. He may be a familiar face in the Annapolis, Anne Arundel County area. Mr. Steve Adams. So Steve, please tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Grayson. As he said, I'm a lifelong Annapolitan, so I've been here 35 years, and I am out on the water a lot on my paddleboard, walking the streets of Annapolis a lot with my dog, so hopefully I am a familiar face to some people. But if not a familiar face, you've possibly seen me in my email signature because I've, for the last 5 years, worked at a marketing firm in PR. So I've done tons of emailing and writing, and that's my background. It's journalism and mass communication, master's degree from Iowa State. And I also have written and continue to write for both Chesapeake Bay Magazine and Visit Annapolis. So that's yet another place where my name is. And all of that has led to, a love of really telling stories about people and places in Annapolis and throughout Anne Arundel County. So when this unexpected opportunity came up, through Allison, who I knew pretty well for the last couple of years, it really is a perfect fit. So I look forward to continuing to grow marketing and outreach here at AAEDC, and of course, hosting this podcast with Grayson.
And listen, I got to be honest with you, working with Steve is awesome. We love teasing Steve about football and about his team of choice, which is the Washington football team.
Yes.
So we like to rib him every now and then, just give him a little bit, just let him have a little bit of a welcome, But Steve's a great guy. He's you guys are going to be seeing more of him. He's absolutely wonderful to work with, and everything. He's just awesome, and hopefully the check clears, Steve. So I'm just just making sure we're good. Okay.
Yep. It's county work is good so far. I'm loving it. So
awesome. Well, look, I'm looking forward to diving into these small businesses of Anne Arundel County, and Steve, we got a good one. I think we landed a really good one. So tell the people who's on this episode.
Yeah, we've got good right in the name, so it's a good one. We've got Adam Ashley, and he is the founder of Goodtimer, which is an electric educational toy backed by neuroscience that encourages kids to form healthy habits using positive reinforcement, tangible incentives, and family participation. And that obviously is a pretty official sounding description there. And the reason I had it right at my disposal is because Goodtimer was the first press release that I was able to write about. So it's an awesome product. And Adam, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Grayson. It's great to have to be a part of your program. Thank you.
Thanks. So I guess just to jump right in, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and whatever I didn't cover in the product description there.
Sure. Yeah, it was a great intro. Thank you. I'm Adam, the founder and CEO of Plus Up LLC. That's the official name of our product, but all of our branding is supporting our product, Goodtimer. First and foremost, I'm the husband of a very supportive wife. That's a requirement if you're going to be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
And be married, and the proud father of two amazing boys. My boys are older now; they're 14 and 10. But right around the time that my oldest turned 3, my wife and I realized that raising well-behaved boys was the toughest parenting challenge we'd faced. It's a whole different set of challenges when they're first born. Your job as their parent is essentially just to keep them alive, make sure that they're breathing and make sure that they're fed and they get over their colds and sniffles. But then, around the time they turn into three-nagers, we like to call them three-nagers, you realize, all right, we got to try to raise well-behaved kids. And at first, we tried some chore charts. We tried timeouts, which is sort of, another discipline technique. My wife and I are avid readers, so we did a lot of reading. We discovered positive parenting, but as a product guy, I was really surprised that there weren't really any modern products on the market for parents to help address challenging behaviors, or even better, to encourage the behaviors you want to see. The leading product on the market is a chore chart. If you don't know what a chore chart is, it's basically a calendar with a set of expectations, and parents or teachers provide gold stars when those expectations are met. So, my wife and I really didn't like timeouts. We found ourselves yelling a lot, nagging at our kids. We hated being the bad guys, the cops in the house. And we thought, if timeouts punish bad behavior, what if there was a fun game that the whole family played together where kids can earn good time for making good choices? And that's kind of how we came up with the idea for Goodtimer, something really engaging for our kids. So I brought a Goodtimer, of course. You can see one glowing in the background. This is the Goodtimer device. I won't go through everything, but certainly if you have any follow-up questions, you can ask me. Each Goodtimer comes with a children's book, and this is a really important part of the product experience. I'm a product guy, and I hate instruction manuals. I just throw them out. I said, this product is simple in the way that it's used, but the neuroscience that's behind it really requires that, clear expectations are set for everybody. We want mom and dad to be doing the same thing. We want kids to understand as young as ages 3. So let's write a really fun children's book. And as you're reading this great story, you don't even realize that you're reading the instruction manual. You're learning about how Goodtimer works and how the family's going to interact with it. So while you're reading the book, there's a couple of worksheets in here. The family establishes the house rules. For our family, sibling rivalry was really tough, and be kind is one of our house rules. And as long as your child is being kind, Goodtimer's on. I've got a lot of light on me here, but if you can see, it's glowing a green color, and it has 12 segments that light up one by one throughout the day. And for kids as young as 3, they don't know what time is yet. So we really wanted to create something that was really intuitive for them. So as the device fills with light, so Goodtimer's talking to me right now. It fills with light. It provides them with that positive feedback, those voice prompts. You're doing a good job. You're doing what's expected. And then once all the light is earned, then children are told that they've earned a token. And this is an allowance, an automatic allowance. It's a method that most positive parenting experts would engage with and say is a good idea. It helps kids make the connection between good choices and positive outcomes. So the product dispenses these tokens. Kids can save them and exchange them for incentives that the family decides. My kids really like to have control about what we do as a family. So they'll exchange tokens to decide to stay up late or get an extra little bit of screen time, or they'll trade it in for a fun play date with their friends. So Goodtimer's all about positive reinforcement and positive parenting. The last thing I'll say that is inevitably your kids are going to make a mistake. You tell them to go out for bed. They don't want to go to bed. And that's when you can use Goodtimer as a positive discipline tool. So if you flip Goodtimer over,
that's not good.
Basically, it tells you, okay, you could be doing better. And what's great about that is tell your kids to flip Goodtimer over. You give them some choices. They get the control. Okay, you can have your Goodtimer over and not earn good time, or you can go upstairs, brush your teeth, get ready for bed. And when you're done, you can turn your Goodtimer back on and continue to earn good time throughout the night. And it's really incredible how simple that is, but kids get to make a choice, and they love earning good time, and they love Goodtimer tokens. So they go upstairs, they brush their teeth. And what's great about it is it works, and parents don't have to be the bad guys. They're not yelling at their kids. They're not having these battles at bedtime anymore. So when they get back to earning good time, they flip it back over, and they're back on track. So that's kind of a description of the product. I know that was a little bit long-winded, but with this format and
That's
a podcast,
great.
I figured I'd take a couple extra minutes so that you guys could understand how it works.
Absolutely. So one of the things that I could really appreciate about Goodtimer is the fact that I think we're all roughly around the same age range, right? 30s,
Sure.
50s, within that range. Growing up, we never really had anything like that. You know what I mean? There was the rules, and it was certainly a different time. Now it's a time more that I think that we've evolved from a lot of things that we used to, a lot of the parenting styles of our parents and even their parents, And so with that happening, was that something that you and your wife thought about in creating this product? Was that something that you really kind of wanted to set as a foundation moving forward?
Right. Yeah. So, I would say that, I grew up in the 90s, graduated high school in 96. So, I came up in a family that I would say is more traditional, and it's tough. Every family's different. We all come from different backgrounds. If we just consider the United States, and that's where we're focused right now, is the United States and American families, there's a broad range of parenting styles. What I will tell you is we've talked to thousands of parents, and I have never met a parent who didn't want the best for their child. There's a lot of ways to get there, right? But every parent wants the same thing. They want to raise well-behaved children. I've never met a parent who said, hey, yeah, I want my kid to be a real pain in the butt, and talk back to me and be disrespectful in school. So we all want, as parents, the same outcome: healthy kids, respectful kids, kids who are set up for success in life. But how do you get there, right? And one of the tough parts is, we rely on what our parents did. We rely on the advice of friends and family. There's tons of resources. And for every article that says that a timeout is good, right, there's an article that says that a timeout is bad.
Right.
Yep.
And so what we've really focused on as our target customer demographic are millennial and Gen Z parents. They're the parents of young children today, right? Mm-hmm. And they're woke, right? They are learning, they are reading, they have access to a lot of really great resources. But with all that access, with all this information out there, how do you sort through it and find a solution that's good for your family? So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to take 3 decades of positive parenting research and incorporate it into a solution that's really easy for parents to start using right away, that takes all that neuroscience, applies it in a meaningful and effective way. And parents are busy. It's a crazy world. You got 2 working parents, they got a lot going on. So we really want to make it very simple and automatic. And that's where the technology can come in. This version of Goodtimers does a lot, but we have some ideas in our product roadmap that are going to even make the tool even more powerful for parents, providing more feedback, providing more data to them so that they can understand how their child is performing and reach those next milestones for improvement. I don't know if I answered your question, Grayson.
No, you definitely did, because I mean, I was even thinking about during COVID, where you're in the house with your kids, and kids have nervous energy. It's a lot of stuff going on, and when you're in quarantine, a lot of the traditional parenting aspects kind of get thrown out of the window, and it's like every man for themselves, because everybody's kind of going stir crazy.
I think they're going to do we're gonna look back and learn a lot when
Yeah.
scientists and psychologists review this period in U.S. history, because we saw it, and we definitely saw an increase in demand for solutions. Parents are more stressed, and kids look to their parents for calm energy. And when we're living in a world that's really scary, it's natural parents can't deliver that. So houses are more stressed. That's our goal as a company, is really to provide solutions that help families achieve a more peaceful home.
Mhm.
And so you were a parent going to work, you had a routine. Now work's closed, you're trying to work from home, you're trying to make that transition, and your kids are home. So now you're the lunch lady, you're the teacher, you're the IT person
Oh yeah.
for your kids in the next room while you're trying to do your job. It was a very stressful time. It continues to be a stressful time. So yeah, I think right now there's even more of a heightened demand for solutions to help bring some consistency and some support to the family. Families are embracing tools and technology to help them find more peace at home.
Yeah. Steve, you were getting ready to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think one of the most unique parts of it that you really, you did a good job with the example of the brushing the teeth there, is kind of empowering kids even from, the very young age of 3, like you said, because they're always going to know that they have some level of choice,
Right.
as opposed to once you do something bad, like you, I grew up, I was born in '86, so I was a kid disciplined in the early '90s is when I was mostly misbehaving, probably with my
Right.
sister, who, like your kids, she's 4 years older than me, so we butted heads a lot. But I can remember the main feeling after, just being sent to my room or whatever was, feeling so horrible that I couldn't undo the action or whatever. But this tool is so forward looking. It's always, how can I kind of course correct and make a choice to improve looking forward, which I just think that's very empowering, especially for the parents and generation of kids you're trying to reach.
Yeah, I really like that, because labels for children can be really tough, even good labels, right? If you tell your child, hey, they bring home an A on a report card, and you say, hey, you're really smart. And that moment, you got an A, you're smart. That's a label, right? And that moment they feel really good, but maybe even on a subconscious level, it's implied that if they didn't get an A, they would not be a smart person, right?
Yep.
So what we really have learned, and what we try to put the focus on, is choices, right? We all make good choices. We all make bad choices. Today, you made a bad choice. All right, there's a natural consequence for that. Turn off your Goodtimer, right? And then we encourage families to say, okay, you can turn on your Goodtimer again once you make amends for your choice, right? And we have a customer service team that provides 24/7 support. We're really, really dialed in and engaged with our families. Okay, my kid is refusing to do this. What should I do now? And we don't always have the answers, but we go and we look for really great articles and resources, and we work as a team to provide them with data-based support and guidance. But there's always an opportunity to make amends. Okay, I made a bad choice. I understand that choice broke this house rule. In order to make it right, I'm going to write an apology note to my brother and say, I did this and that, and I know that wasn't nice for this reason, and I'm sorry, right? And when you do that and you're done with that, you hug it out with your brother, you can turn your Goodtimer back over. What's really interesting is the word discipline gets a bad name. You assume punishment,
Sure.
but discipline comes from the word disciple, which is all about learning, right? And that's ultimately what parents are. We're the teachers. So we want our kids to learn from their mistakes. Here's a tool that can help aid in that learning process. And over time, you're going to have those instances of misbehavior fewer and fewer and fewer, because the kids are learning, right? And it's all about moving towards the thing you want rather than punishing the thing that you don't want.
And it's almost like Goodtimer actually enhances what the parents have already put in place. If, you know, those healthy examples are put in place, if those healthy, you know, rules, if you will, are put in place, it's like Goodtimer just kind of helps that along.
Yeah.
Would you think?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We like to think that, right? We like to think that, and I think I mentioned this before. Every family's different. You know, we'll have families coming to us with a 2-year-old, and they haven't read yet, so they're new to positive parenting. They haven't done the research. They don't understand the fundamentals, or maybe they were trying something, timeouts, or, you know, or grounding before, and it wasn't working for them. So they're looking for something new. Then we have parents who've done all the reading. They've tried to implement some stuff, but it's hard. It requires a lot of maintenance, right? And they're looking for a solution. And, you know, we certainly don't advertise that Goodtimer is going to solve all of your parenting woes, you know, in a week. It's a tool, right? Parents have a lot of tools in their tool belt, right? We buy baby monitors, and we buy sound machines to help our kids sleep. We buy car seats and, you know, so many other, you know, learning toys, right? This is a learning toy. It's a toy that's, you know, not ABCs, but it's, okay, how to make good choices, right? And so we kind of think of a parent as a superhero. They got their utility belt. Goodtimer is one of the powerful tools that they're going to have in their utility belt, but certainly they're going to use other methods and techniques alongside Goodtimer, and we hope that it's a really powerful go-to tool that they're using a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
And I guess looking towards the future, I may have buried the lead a bit in my description of you guys, but I didn't make clear that the press release that I enjoyed writing was to share the news that Adam and Plus Up and Goodtimer were the first recipient of our Volt Growth Fund Award, which gave them a loan of $100,000 to grow the company. And also, just for the little spiel on specifically what our Volt Growth Fund does, it aims to help Maryland-based high-growth, innovative, and technology product companies implement a go-to-market strategy and accelerate sales. And an interesting little tidbit I certainly didn't know was that it's actually funded through the state's VLT program, which uses 1.5% of proceeds from VLT, video lottery terminals, which are like slot machines and whatnot, to assist small minority and women-owned businesses located in targeted areas surrounding Maryland's 6 casinos. So I think the really interesting thing there for me was, I always thought lotto, gaming, all of that, you always hear about when it's, you know, when policymakers are making decisions on approving or not approving things, you always hear about the funding from proceeds going to education. And that's pretty much all, in my mind, it was all 100% to education. But this is a unique program that looks to help small businesses and minority and women-owned businesses. So that's all leading me to the question of, Adam, how did you find out about the Volt Growth Fund, and you know, what led you to apply for it?
Yeah, sure. Plus Up was involved in an accelerator in Annapolis earlier in 2021. It was in February and March, and it's called the Founder Track Program, coordinated by Startup Annapolis, and the AAEDC is a sponsor, or was a sponsor for the program. It was a great experience for me. We were one of, I believe, 12 companies in the spring cohort, and really incredible companies with a broad range of business models. We had a great mentor. They're called Sherpas in the program. Our mentor was Adam Bixler, and He's a very successful entrepreneur with multiple exits. And he's been such a great support to us. And he actually provided the introduction to some of the folks at the Arundel Economic Development Corporation. He said, listen, it's a great organization. And I think given where you are, it's a great place to access some of this money. My birds are my birds are squawking in the other room. I apologize for that.
Oh, no problem.
I reached out to the team. Everyone has been so lovely throughout the process, and the Vault Growth Fund really is perfect for us. We launched Goodtimer in late 2019. 2020 was our first 12 months of sales. We've had really steady growth. So we're able to show the county that we already have some proven marketing channels that were contributing to month-over-month sales. But when you're a consumer products company and you're growing fast as we are, you have a number of challenges, and one of them is cash flow needed to buy more inventory. The inventory represents considerable cost, and the product needs to be ordered and then made and then put on the water before it can get there. So it's a really great, the loan is a really great vehicle for us for where we were in the process of growing. We're using the funds, and we've already started using those funds to support marketing activities that have already been proven, but we just need to put more money behind it. Pay-per-click ads, how do we scale that? How do we scale our PR and influencer marketing activities? And then we've actually placed several POs for product that's on the water now and being made now that's going to fulfill demand for fourth quarter, which last year represented more than half of our revenue for the year. As you can imagine, families are looking for items to put under the Christmas tree or Hanukkah bush, and Goodtimer was a great solution last year, and we hope it's going to be a great gift item this year.
Yeah, I know when you came in and we met, and Grayson was there as well, we did the photo with the big golf tournament check that always makes me think of Happy Gilmore. I remember our CEO Ben really hammering home kind of that message of you guys being a perfect fit, because of not being a startup by any means, not being small, having a quite impressive proven track record, but not being a huge company that wanted to issue a public offering or whatever. So kind of it being the right stage for this specific program, which was great to hear. I think that might lead to Grayson's next question on what stage we're at now.
Sure.
Yeah. So like about the future, right? Where do you think that, what's your ideal for where you see Goodtimer in the next 5 years of like your evolution?
Yeah, great question. We describe Plus Up as a company. Plus Up was actually named Plus Up because it means positive reinforcement for improvement. Plus Up, right?
Awesome.
And as parents of young children, that's where we started. As a founder, you start with what you know and what you're really passionate about. Now I have a 14-year-old who just started his freshman year of high school. So, in our long-term product roadmap, we have, ideas, additional solutions that will not be called Goodtimer, but there'll be other products and resources that we provide, services that we provide to families who want to incorporate positive reinforcement to encourage improvement, right, at any age. Right now, we're focused on ages 3 to 10, but parenting doesn't end at 10. It's a lifelong experience. So our team is.
You're gonna see that Goodtimer for that early 20s.
Right.
We get the early 20s.
We get the question a lot from moms. Can I use this on my husband? And there are other examples. I'm wearing a smartwatch. This tells me, hey, achieve your goal. You can do it. You can get there. So there's definitely some examples of technology, and that's what we want to do. We want to take technology and positive reinforcement and combine them into solutions that make a positive impact and help people achieve their goals, whether they be parents or young adults, right, trying to get make their way in the world. So and in 5 years time, we know that we're going to be recognized as a market leader in the positive parenting space, helping parents achieve those goals. And then as appropriate, we'll grow into other markets to following up on that mission, help other people achieve their personal goals through positive reinforcement. Did that answer your question, Grayson?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I'm excited to see where you guys are going to go with it, because I mean, to be honest with you, I think, having 2 sets of twins at home, but
Wow.
at the same time, my boys are 16 and the girls are 11. So
Right.
they're adults now in their minds. But I look at something like Goodtimer as something that I really could have used. You know what I mean? Like back then, like because let's be honest, when you become a parent, there is no handbook. There is no rule book for parenting. It's like, here you go.
Well
Have
said.
a good one. You know what I mean? And so like I look at Goodtimer as kind of like a little bit of that guiding force, a little bit of that, and what you guys are doing with the company. I think that it's something that's going to be able to kind of set the roots for parenting as you go on. So Goodtimer isn't just where it stops. It doesn't stop at 10, but it just continues to go on and continues to live. And for the wives out there, maybe you're going to come out with a line for the husbands. Listen, I know my wife will be ready for it.
Yeah. We'll call it the honeydew or something.
Right.
Yep.
I can see that happening. Listen, and I can see it fly off the shelves too. I just automatically know. So that's awesome. That's awesome. So Steve, you got anything else? I don't want to.
I think the only other question, I haven't asked Adam this before, but I've been kind of curious about, and it probably ties into that previous question about the appeal of the Vault Growth Fund a little bit, is, if you ever thought about, and if so, why you didn't pursue something somewhat of a pie in the sky thing, I guess, like going on Shark Tank for this,
Yeah, Shark Tank is a question we get asked a lot. I think it's because, when are you going to go on Shark Tank, right? I would say that if I'm at a networking event, or I'm at on the soccer field with my sons, and the conversation of what do you do comes up, and I tell people about Goodtimer, they're like, why haven't you been on Shark Tank? Because it's such a popular show, right? It's a great entertaining show. And when we think of consumer product companies and their journey from, initial startup to, the ultimate goal is brand recognition, right? To be a household name, you think of Shark Tank. So it's something that we're considering, and if the opportunity presented itself, I think that Goodtimer would be a good fit for Shark Tank.
Yeah.
So, I see that as a platform. We're working a lot to build brand awareness, and Goodtimer is a patented product. It took us 3 years of R&D to bring it to market, to get that utility patent behind it. It's new. So I had the opportunity to spend 5 minutes telling you about how Goodtimer works. But when you're trying to reach the public today on like a social media platform, you've got about 7 seconds to get their attention. So we're the first with this new type of technology. It's kind of like a nightlight in terms of how it looks, right? But it's totally different. So we have that burden, that challenge of customer education.
Yeah.
A year or two from now, everyone will know what Goodtimer is, and they'll understand how it works because they've had those conversations. So platform like Shark Tank would be a really good way for us to get a lot of exposure, right? And then, it's not going to be a good fit for everybody, for every parent. Parents hopefully will have the information they need to make a decision as to whether they think it's a good fit for their family, right? So I appreciate this opportunity because it allows a platform that hopefully people will see and spread the word about, hey, did you see this podcast? That there's this really interesting new product. And they'll, parents will see it and other folks will see it, and that'll give them an opportunity to decide if it's a good fit for them. So yeah, I think that's a good question. I get it a lot. I hope I answered it. I think if the opportunity came along, we would definitely, take a really close look at that and see if it's a good fit for where we are, and where we're trying to go.
Right. Well, as someone who's now on social media channels a lot more than I have been in the past, I've got to say, you guys do a really good job with what you put out, both in terms of educating quickly on what the product is and does. And I've got to give another little kudos to you on how responsive you are to all the questions and comments and whatnot that you get on those posts that are out there. So
I'll pass it on to Maggie.
Yeah.
She's our social media manager, and yeah, she's amazing. She's a mother of 4, and she has a background in early childhood education, special education, and she ran an award-winning daycare center. So she understands what it's like to be a parent, and she's really good. We really pride ourselves on trying to be very responsive and provide really great service. And then, our social media approach is quality over quantity. We don't just throw anything up on our social media channel. We're really looking to provide curated, really useful or entertaining content for families that helps them engage and understand. And then hopefully they'll like and share, and then their friends will learn about Goodtimer, and that'll get more folks in that sales funnel.
Right.
That's awesome. It's good stuff. So Adam, we wish you the best of success. We honestly, it's been a great time talking to you. You have any parting words, anything that you want to let anybody know?
No, I just want to thank you guys again for this incredible opportunity. We're really honored to be the first recipient of the Volt Growth Fund. I mean, I can't tell you how much it means to us to be able to take, I wouldn't say even risks, I would just say grow our business, because we were cash strapped, and now we have cash to invest in our marketing and product that we're confident will help us grow next year. And this was a great opportunity. It was fun talking to you guys, and I really appreciate it on behalf of the rest of the team.
Yeah, and I think for our closing words, I can remember again when you stopped in, Ben talking to you and saying how you were a risk, as all loans are, but
Of course.
I think he put it in terms of a very healthy risk or something like that. So if anybody wants to learn more about the Volt Growth Fund, they can just go to AAEDC.org, and all of our business resources are there. And Adam, am I right? It's just Goodtimer.com if people want to.
It's
more.
GoGoodtimer.com.
Go Goodtimer. Okay.
Goodtimer. But if you type Goodtimer into Google, we rank at the top, so you'll be able to find us.
Great.
Awesome. Well, listen, that's another episode of the My ArundelBiz podcast. I'm Grayson, for Steve and for everybody at AAEDC. Adam, thank you so much for coming through, and really the pleasure is all ours. I mean, you guys are doing a great job in representing Anne Arundel County very well, and we just want to tell you thank you, and we really wish you a lot of success. So
thank you, Grayson. Thanks, Steve.
So if you want to see this and you want to rewatch this episode or any of our other episodes, please go to My ArundelBiz podcast on all platforms, social media accounts, everything. You can see just a wealth of what Anne Arundel County has to offer, not only to the state of Maryland, but to the world, because we've got a lot of talented businesses, we've got a lot of great businesses, and we've got a lot of great stories as well. So we want to tell you guys, thank you for watching, and till next time, have a good one.